Hi, everybody. Okay, so we're here with an everything envelopes, and I have 2 envelopes. I got these at the thrift store in like a pack that had a bunch of cards and a bunch of envelopes. Let me measure them real quick. Let's see. We're at 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. So it's 5 3/4 this way and 8 1/4 this way. And I think you'd use any size envelope to be honest. But first I'm going to take the flaps and I'm going to fold them on the back side of the envelope. And then I'm going to glue them together like this. So I'm going to glue the sticky part to the sticky part. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue to do that. Just real quick. Glue them together. Try to glue them as evenly as I can. Oh, I think I did pretty good. Right? I think that looks pretty. I mean, it's a little off, but that's okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Right, look at that. That looks great. So we have the inside is like this. We have this flap sticking out like that. I'm going to fold it in like this, and then I'm going to mark it from our fold here, right, the bottom of the envelope, 2 1/4 inches on each side, right? So we have 1 inch, 2 inches, right, 1 inch, 2 inch, and about 1/4. So about 2 inches and 1/4. Same here on this side, 2 inches and 1/4, and then I'm going to score it using this here scoreboard. Let's see, 2 1/4. Just line this up with a line since I already have it marked. There we go. And on this side, I do it like this. All right. Just score it down. And then I scored the tip of our little envelope here. I'm gonna cut that off. Right, so I'm just gonna cut off a bit of that corner, the tip of the envelope. All right, so I'm gonna fold this like this. All right, so we're folding it in towards our fold, like that. Fold this one in, like this. Okay, so this one has our envelope. I'm going to, or the flap that we glued together, I'm gonna glue it down, just right there. And then we have a whole little pocket here, right, for a tag, right? I'm just gonna, let me cut this down, right? So we have a whole little area right here for a tag. I'm not being exact about it, just something that will fit in there, right? And I'll go ahead and cut this into a tag now. Just for, my husband has been saying, just for posterity's sake lately, so I'll say that, right? We'll just cut the tag now for posterity's sake. All right, so there's like a tag, right? It'll go in that part. This part side, right, that doesn't have the flap glued down, I'm going to glue it down like a pocket. So I'm just gonna glue the edges like this. And that will be glued like a pocket. Let's press that good. Press this side good. Let's get all our folds done, right? So we have a pocket here. Grab a piece of paper. Grab a piece of paper, right? This is from an old planner, which is gorgeous, huh? So it has the May month. And so, yeah, so we have a pocket here. And actually, that's really nice. You know what we'll do is we'll just fold it. We will fold it like this. All right, and that'll just go in that pocket. I'll probably ink it and stuff. All right, so that can go in that pocket like that. Oh, I folded it barely. Barely not enough. All right. Barely not enough. But it fits, barely. It barely fits, right? We've got enough that it will fold over. Okay, and then this one, this pocket, I'm gonna leave, right? I'm gonna leave as a flip out. And what I'll do is I will put like a sideways pocket on this side. Maybe on both sides. Let's see, I have this old 8x8. Is it an 8x8? Let me see, what is this? What does this measure? Yes, 8x8. This is an old 8x8 pad given to me, geez, a long time ago by Debbie, the lady who used to do scrapbooking, and she's not really doing scrapbooking anymore. So she gave me, oh, I really like that one. So she gave me a bunch of supplies when I first years ago, when I first started doing junk journaling. And it's funny because a lot of these supplies she had said were a few years old anyway. And she was like, you know, she was kind of apologetic about it. And I was like, I like old supplies, you know, things you can't even get anymore. Just kind of try to erase. That eraser's horrible, huh? This eraser like left a pink mark on my, but it's erased. Okay, so we have this, and I think we'll cut it here. All right, so we'll put two little pockets. I'll cut them in an angle. So let me just line it up here. And cut this one top part off. There we go, like this. And I think, okay, like I'm gonna cut off from here, right? I'm gonna leave a little bit flat of the top. And I'm just gonna cut off a little angle like that. Isn't that cute? That's super cute. I really like this paper. That is a nice paper. I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one, but probably angle it on the other side. So I'll cut two pieces. All right. Cut off my mark like that. So it's been a gorgeous day. It heated up a little bit, but not too much. It's supposed to be kind of high 80s today, or this week, which isn't too bad. I live in New York over by like the Finger Lakes area. And let's see, this one is like this. This one I want angled like that. So let's see. I'm going to do it like this. And you know what? I'm just going to use this as a guide. And it's much cooler here than it was in Colorado. It's more humid though, so some days it feels hotter. But which I'm not used to. I'm still getting used to the humidity. I am not used to that. We used to live in deserty areas, right? It was more desert, high desert plains. And this is a lot more like deciduous forest. But we haven't had a day that's been over 100 all summer. We've had a couple high 90s, mid 90s days, but mostly just kind of stays from the 80s down to the 70s. Actually, it's been really nice. All right, I'm going to glue this one onto this little pocket. I'm going to leave that off. And I'm going to leave that though, so it's easy to get stuff in and out of there. Just gonna glue an L along the left side and the bottom. Like that. Right, so we've got a pocket here. Right, nice, nice. And I'll glue, oh, I glued it the wrong way. That's okay. That is totally okay. It doesn't really matter. Actually, it might even work better so our whatever little card or tag we make won't stick out that way, you know. It'll stick in this way because it's going to fold like this. Actually, it's going to fold like that. Right, so we've got this. This will fold out like this. We have two pockets, one here, right, one here. We have this one for our tag, and then it's going to open like this. It's going to open like this, and then we have two pockets here, which I'm just going to put a couple of coffee dyed papers in. Here, I have this one, which has this cool pattern. And it'll almost fit perfect. I'm going to fold it in half like this, and then we'll cut it down a bit. All right, so we've got, so it'll fit in there easy. I'll just cut it off here. And we shall cut it off here, and we'll have some good scraps. I'm going to cut this one off first, which I should have marked this on the, let's see, how, it's like 5/8 of an inch, looks like, just so we know how much to cut off. About that much. All right, I'll stick this in my scrap box. Right, we've got some nice coffee dyed paper for the scrap box that I'm rebuilding up. And I'm gonna cut this fold off. I sharpened my scissors, thank goodness. They're working so much better now. I mean, not perfectly great. I didn't sit and sharpen them for a long, long time, but... All right, lovely. So that's going to go there. This one will go in here. And there we go. And it folds this way. Right, so we've got a pocket here. It'll open, we've got a pocket here, and then this one opens like this. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see, I've got this nice kind of brown craft like cardstock. This is an 8.5 by 11. I'm just gonna fold this in half. So I'm gonna start a new journal. This one's gonna be like a garden flower journal. And I'm gonna, which is actually perfect that it's this side, I'm gonna add a little flap so that it will open and you can get the back of it too. So I'm gonna glue the flap onto this part. So we need to cut it here. And then I'm gonna, let's score it. Score it kind of in half. It does not need to be perfect, which that is definitely not perfect. That is okay. Does not need to be perfect. Okay, it's going to fold like this. So this is going to be the back. So I'm going to put it, let's see. I want to glue it on this side. So yes, we want the fold to face the fold. Right? Yes, so that way when it opens, right, it opens like this. That's what we want. I'm gonna cut these at an angle. All right, gonna glue this one onto the envelope. So the fold to the fold. Fold side to fold side. Like that, perfect. Right, and then I'll glue this side to the edge of the paper here. Awesome. Let's try and get this as even as I can. Like that. There we go. So it'll open like this. We have this little flap, a little flappy flap. Lovely. All right, so this goes in here. Yep, so this is how it is. It opens like this, right? We have a pocket here. It opens like this. We have two pockets here, a pocket here, and like a belly band kind of pocket there. And now I'm just gonna decorate it. I'm gonna glue a page to this. And I think, yes, I will use one of these. This came also right from that planner. That I loved and bought. I think it's a 2023 planner. I love planners, and I buy one every year, and then I don't ever use it. It's horrible. But I use them for journaling, at least. So, but I have a bunch of them. And look, it's the perfect height. We don't even need to cut the bottom. And then we have these cool, like, circle bits. Right, this edge, which will be great for our scrap box, right? That'll be great to use on tags and journaling cards and things like that. We will just ink this real quick. Right, and then we'll glue it down over this flap right here. Ta-da! And it'll look all fancy and nice. Try and get it. Is that kind of straight? It's straight enough. It's good enough. All right, and I'm not going to decorate everything on screen, but I figure I'd decorate a little bit. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I have this awesome old dictionary. It's like from 1940, 1939 to 1947. Super nice, right? Look at the aging of the book. It's beautiful. I have some pages, I think, that have already been, kind of cut out. So I'll just pull those. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip strips like this, right? So I'm going to rip strips. So we have some strips ripped of this gorgeous dictionary. I'll leave that one. And then I'm going to glue like a piece like this, right? Glue. And I'm going to use this Elmer's glue stick because it works great for dictionary pages. I've never had it fail me, Glue sticks, especially these Elmer ones, a lot of times don't stick permanently for things, but they do great for really thin pieces of paper like this. So I'm going to glue this here like that. Right, lovely. And then you don't get those, you know, glue lines and stuff. It doesn't dampen the paper because it is so thin. And then I have this really cool book, this old vintage flowers book. I got this at a antique store, and I got it for like nothing. It was like $1 because look, it has some water damage, but it doesn't matter for us because we're just going to use the image, right? We're just going to use the images. What is this, cinefoil? Oh, I like the bluebell. Oh, I like the butterfly. Let's do this bluettes. Oh, I like that too, though. Okay, we'll use this. What is this? Gentians. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna rip off the edge. Just rip the image out, right? Because this is great. The words and stuff, like the description of what the flower is. That'll be great in the. All right, we'll rip strips out of this. We'll put one here. We could put one here like this. I think that'll work great. Grand. Just grand. Ink it. I'm not going to ink the top. Okay, this one I'm going to ink the top. This one I'm not going to ink the top. I'm just going to ink the sides and the bottom because I want it to kind of look like it's together. Kind of, right? That's a pretty one too. It's so hard, these books like this, these pages like this, because you want to use both sides, you know, and you got to like sacrifice one. But this will work. I love the background, the full background of the forest. Ta-da! Like that. Perfect. Right, so that's basically kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to do dictionary page and like a flower kind of page from this book. And oh, for this, I'm actually going to cover this a bit so it's not such a V. Let's see, what can we use for that? We can use another one of these. I'm thinking notes. I don't know. What about, I have this like craft paper sketchbook, right? It's like a tan sketchbook, which is really just craft paper. When you look at it, it's just craft paper. I don't know why they didn't just call it that, but whatever. It is a little too long, so we'll have to trim the top, but I'm thinking from like here. All right, and I'm gonna grab 2 pages and we'll cut both at the same time. So it's easy peasy. All right, let me cut a little bit off the bottom, maybe 1/4 of an inch. Oh, that is crooked. I cut that very crooked. Okay, here's the thing about most cutters. You gotta put the thing down, right? You can't just, you gotta actually hold the thing down, okay? And it's still cut a little crooked, but that's okay. What can you do? When I find my Stampin' Up! One, I'll be using that because as really cool as this is, it just doesn't cut as straight for me and as easy, right, as the Stampin' Up! One. That Stampin' Up! One cuts straight for me every time. All right. So yeah, I'm going to glue this like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue it like this so we don't glue our pocket closed. Right? And then I will decorate it, the rest of it, like off screen. And then I'll cut back and you can see what I've done, right? And I'm not gonna like decorate all the cards and the tags or anything, just the main kind of insert. Oh, a show I've started watching is The Residence on Netflix. Excellent. Such a fun, like murder mystery kind of show, and it's like not too serious. It's got some nice, like funny moments. It's, you know, everyone's a suspect. It's like, it's really good. It's not just about the detective is great, right? She is played by that girl that plays in Orange is the New Black. Just excellent. And she is funny in this. Just all eccentric, you know, the way detectives should be. But it's not all about the detective, which I really appreciate. Because most detective shows now, they're always like, it's all about the detective. And it's like, I don't care. Anyway, I'm going to keep decorating this, right? I'm going to put, you know, probably like on this page, I'll probably put like a cross of, right, like that, of dictionary, and then I'll, you know, stick one of those images on there. And so I'm going to go through real quick and continue to decorate my thing, and then we'll come back and we'll add some lace and some ribbon and stuff and make it fancy, and then that'll be good. So yeah, a little envelope project for today. A insert flippy outie that has a bunch of pockets and stuff. Fun stuff. Love it. And it's not too thick. It's a little, right? It's got a little bit of bulk, but not too bad. Not too bad. Anyway, I will be right back. All right, so I have finished decorating our pages, right? I put a piece of dictionary page there. I did this one, see, and this one, right? Just dictionary page and some pages from that flower book. And then I did cut a couple of tags, but I didn't decorate them. I just cut them out here. And then so we've got more of dictionary page and flowers, same on this side. So there we go. There is our little envelope insert, right, with the many pockets. Just a flip out. Envelope flip out pocket thingy. So the only last thing I want to do is I want to use some ribbon here. I'm going to use some ribbon. I'm thinking on the inside like this. So one here. And then one on the other side as well. So on this side, like right here. Yes. So cut out this one, and I'm going to use, actually I might put it on the inside like that, just so we're not covering our pretty dictionary pages and stuff. I'm going to use double-sided tape for my ribbon, a thing I learned from Miss Paint-A-Lot, which has never failed me. So yes, excellent idea. So that's where I learned that little trick from. Just press that down. And then that way the glue doesn't seep through our pretty satin ribbon. Let's press it down. Ta-da! So you have a ribbon here. And I'll put a ribbon here. that. The shiny side up. We have a little baby fledgling nesting on the porch. The robin decided they were going to nest on the porch. I don't know. And then she gets all upset every time we go outside, like leave the house. And it's like, well, I don't know why you picked there. But it is kind of protected from the grackles, so that's good. I'm going to ink just around this envelope real quick. So, but that fledgling is getting big enough, it's going to leave the nest soon. And every time Mom flies back up to feed it, you know, he just screams, you know how baby birds are, you know. They just start going, singing, and feed me, feed me, feed me. So that's been wonderful to watch. Just get bigger and bigger. Little bird out there. And then we have the goldfinches, which are just amazing. They are just the happiest things. I never realized they had such big personalities. They fly and do this dive bomb thing. They fly like this. And as they do it, they sing. It's just the cutest thing. And they land on the tall grass out there and eat the tall grass. All right, awesome. So there is that. And then one more thing. I'm going to put a piece of, let's see, lace. Lace, maybe. Okay, I'm thinking lace on this side. And then I have this rickrack. This awesome big thick rickrack. And that's going to go on this side. So that's, and then we'll be done. That'll be it. We will have fancied it up a little bit. Use this 3-in-1. Just kind of. And we'll let that dry before I trim the bottom of that. All right, and some 3-in-1. On this side. I love this big, thick rickrack. Isn't that great? I think that's another thing I found at like a thrift store, the antique store or something. Love it. Love the thick, big rickrack. So much fun. All right. And then, oh, I guess I'll show you the glues I've been using today. I used the 3-in-1 beacon. I use this art glitter glue. And I used this Elmer's washable school glue. And then I used the double-sided tape. So I used all the glues today. All the glues, I guess. I've been kind of missing all my different glues. So I got to use them all today. And of course, you could just use beacon for the whole thing. Or, you know, whatever, art glitter glue, probably. I've heard art glitter glue will attach lace and ribbon and stuff, especially like if you use enough of it. I don't know about that glue stick, though. I don't think you could get that glue stick to stick this lace, but I don't know, maybe you can. So yay, that is our project for today. A cool Flippy Flappy pocket insert for your journal that you can just put on a page like that. So yay! I love it. I absolutely adore it. It is super cool. Super cool Flippy Flappy that I just put together, right? So that's it for today. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.